Have you heard story of the laziest man in the world? Let me tell you the story of Don Flojo, the laziest man in the world. He lived in a small village, a place where the houses were made of mud, and life was simple. Except for one thing. Don Flojo. Every morning his wife, a woman with the strength to carry sacks of potatoes without breaking a sweat, had to practically drag him out of bed. "Come on, Don Flojo," she'd say. "Why are you lying around like a lazy cat? We're never going to get out of poverty if you don't help." But Don Flojo didn't care. He'd yawn, roll over, and complain. "What a hard life, it's such a hassle." And the poor wife, losing patience, would say, "How are we ever going to be rich if you keep lying there doing nothing?" Then, one day, Don Flojo came up with an idea. He looked at the distant mountain and said, "I'm going to visit the wise man who lives behind that mountain. They say he knows secrets to becoming rich without working." His wife was skeptical, but at least it was something new. "Fine," she sighed, "but if you come back with nothing, don't bother returning." So, the next morning, though he was still lazy, Don Flojo got up and slowly made his way towards the mountain. He walked so slowly, dragging his feet as if he had weights tied to his shoes. After hours of walking, he met a thin, hungry wolf, who asked, "Where are you going so slowly?" Don Flojo replied, "I'm on my way to see a wise man who can tell me how to get rich without working." The wolf, desperate, asked, "If you meet him, can you ask him why I'm always hungry, no matter how much I eat?" Don Flojo, just wanting to get rid of the wolf, promised, "Sure, I'll ask him later." Don Flojo came across an old, dry apple tree. The tree, weak and withered, asked him, "Where are you going with so little energy?" Don Flojo sighed and said, "I'm looking for the wise man behind the mountain. I want to know how to be rich without effort." The tree, feeling hopeless, pleaded, "Please ask him how I can heal. I haven't been able to grow apples for years." Don Flojo, too lazy to care, said, "All right, I'll ask him for you." Finally, he reached a lake with clear water. Suddenly, a fish emerged and asked, "Where are you headed?" Don Flojo, growing tired of all the questions, replied, "I'm going to see the wise man to find out how to get rich without working." The fish begged, "Please ask him why I have something stuck in my throat that keeps me from eating." Don Flojo, still not interested, promised, "I'll ask him for you." At last, Don Flojo reached the top of the mountain. There, sitting on a rock, was the wise man. "I've come for advice," Don Flojo said. "How can I get rich without working?" The wise man, calm and patient, simply asked, "Is that all you came for?" Don Flojo quickly added, "Oh, I also have questions for a wolf, a tree, and a fish. Can you help them too?" The wise man nodded and said, "For the wolf, tell him to eat the first lazy person he meets, and that will fill his hunger. As for the fish, there's a valuable jewel stuck in its throat. Someone needs to remove it, and then it will eat peacefully again." Then Don Flojo, eager to know the answer to his own problem, interrupted, "But what about me? How do I get rich without working?" Don Flojo was thrilled. He imagined the wealth awaiting him, piles of gold, a soft bed, and most importantly, his wife's surprise when she saw him return rich without lifting a finger. But along the way he ignored the wolf, the tree, and the fish. Each of them had asked for help, but Don Flojo wasn't willing to lift a finger. He was too lazy to make an effort. When he saw the wolf again, the wolf said, "You had two chances to get rich, but you were too lazy. You had the chance to get a jewel from the fish and gold from the tree, but you chose not to do anything." And at that moment, Don Flojo realized it was too late. The wolf was right. He had wasted his chances because of his laziness. He had everything within reach, but he never made the effort to grab it. So remember this story of Don Flojo. Sometimes the opportunity to succeed is right in front of us, but it takes effort to claim it. Success doesn't come by waiting for it. It comes from action. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more motivational tales. Remember, success is waiting for you, but only if you're willing to work for it.